have a function God would have me fill. I have a function God would have me fill. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I have a function God would have me fill. I have a function God would have me fill. I seek the function that would set me free. I seek forgiveness, the function that will set me free. I seek the function that would set me free from all vain illusions of the world. Only the function God has given me can offer freedom. Only this I seek, and only this will I accept as mine. I have a function God would have me fill. I have a function God would have me fill. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I have a function God would have me fill. I have a function God would have me fill. And what is our function? Our function is forgiveness. I have a function God would have me fill. I seek the function that would set me free, free from all vain illusions of this world. Only the function God has given me can offer freedom. Only this I seek, and only this will I accept as mine. I have a function God would have me fill. I have a function God would have me fill. I'm not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. Well, thank you so much for joining me today in studying A Course in Miracles. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles here on Lesson 212, which is a review of Lesson 192, I Have a Function God Would Have Me Fill. I'm Miracle Willie, forgiveness teacher from the Ozarks, and it's Tuesday, July the 30th of 2024, and we're to do 2 15-minute practice periods today, early when you first get up, and then right before you go to bed, if possible, and try to tell yourself, I'm not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I can't be diminished or changed, or I'm not vulnerable. I'm the Holy Son of God Himself. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I have a function God would have me fill. That's what we want to think about throughout the day. Every hour of the day also, bring it to your memory. I have a function God would have me fill. I seek the function that would set me free from all the vain illusions of the world. Only the function God has given me can offer freedom. Only this I seek, and only this will I accept as mine. And what is that function that sets us free? Forgiveness. Let go of what comes before you. Let it go. If it was really yours, it'll come back. If it wasn't yours, it's good to get rid of it. Let it go. Let go and let God. I have a function God would have me fill. Okay, let's go take a look in our text reading for today, and we're going to learn about the laws of chaos. There's 5 of them, and they're not really laws. He's going to explain that, but they appear to be laws from the upside-down perspective, and they're what seems to keep the upside-down perspective in place. So we want to learn to recognize these, in quotes, laws for what they are. Nothing. Anyway, we'll look at that. That's in chapter 23, The War Against Yourself, section 2, The Laws of Chaos. And as you're turning there, let's take a look at what's going on around the world from holidays and observances. Father-in-law Day. You could be Mother-in-law Day too, but if you have a father-in-law, tell them thank you for something that you appreciate about them. And you can always find something to appreciate about everybody. And if you can't, you got work to do. Medicare birthday, healthcare now, that was started in 1965, took about 20 years after Truman suggested it before it actually became law of the land, I guess. International Day of Friendship. Good day to make a new friend. Good day to restore a friend that you hadn't visited with for a while. Anyway, International Day of Friendship. Of course, we're learning that that's the way to heaven, is through friendship. With everyone, no exceptions. no respecter of persons do we want to have. No favorites. Just complete love for everybody. Friendship Day. International Friendship Day. Cheesecake Day. Chicken and Waffles Day. Doesn't sound real appealing. Of course, I'm vegan, so chicken doesn't sound appealing at all. I like to look at them, but don't really like to eat them. Support public, but that's not a requirement for Course in Miracles. Support Public Education Day. Whistleblowers Appreciation Day. Let me name you. I found this on St. Francis School of Law. 10 most famous whistleblowers: Mike Whitaker, Vera English, Peter Buxton, Joe Darby, Karen Silkwood, Edward Snowden, Daniel Ellsberg, Frank Serpico, Chelsea Manning, and W. Mark Felt. Anyway, just thought you might be interested in doing a little more research on those folks. Let's see. Appreciate people walking in the light and sharing what they know that'll help everybody else, even if they're threatened in the process. They're listening to a higher cause, aren't they? Often. Hopefully. Paperback Book Day. And you can get A Course in Miracles in either paperback, softcover, which softcover hold up a lot longer than the paperback, and it's not much more costly, or the hardcover. So I like the softcover myself. A little flexible carrying around in your pack. I've got a hardcover, but that's... you can find the course on acim.org. You can buy it there, or you can read it there online. No cost to read the whole thing. And that's the Foundation for Inner Peace version, which is the one we're going through this year. There's also the original version and a couple others. World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. Of course, we always want to stand for everybody's sovereignty and their free will, freedom of expression in every respect. World Snorkeling Day. That sounds the day to go snorkeling. And then out of edible landscaping, we've got the, what is it called? The lemongrass. Look what it says about lemongrass out of edible landscaping. Lemongrass, which is Cymbopogon citratus, is the genus and species. And it says of lemongrass in edible landscaping Lemongrass is used in many Thai recipes as a flavorful medicinal tea and is also the source of citral, the essential oil used in citronella candles. Grows well anywhere, indoors, and can be grown as an outside annual in the north. Zones 9 through 10 if you're growing it outside and want it just because it's a perennial. But you can grow it as an annual here in the Ozarks. Lemongrass, or you can take it inside and bring it back out in the summer. And then I'm sitting in front of a comfrey plant, and I wanted to tell you just a moment about comfrey. Symphytum officinale, also known as bone knit. I found this on ScienceDirect.com. This herb belongs to the family Boraginaceae and is commonly known as knit bone because it helps broken bones heal together. Knit bone. Allantoin is a chemical substance found in this plant which imparts a remarkable healing property to it. Comfrey is useful in broken bones, wounds, and burns. It significantly reduces the healing time owing to its property of accelerating cell growth. It can be used in form of poultice. Okay, so if you're kind of worried about eating it, because it does have some contraindications if you eat too much of it, for sure. Just be aware. But for medicine, you can use it as poultice. It's saying. Okay, let's take a look at the laws of chaos and keep with us today. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I have a function God would have me fill. The laws of chaos, chapter 23, section 2. The laws of chaos, and the laws is in quotes because they're not truly laws. The laws of chaos can be brought to light though never understood. Chaotic laws are hardly meaningful and therefore out of reason's sphere. Yet they appear to be an obstacle to reason and to truth. Let us then look upon them calmly, that we may look beyond them, understanding what they are, not what they would maintain. It is essential it be understood what they are for, because it is their purpose to make meaningless and to attack the truth. Here are the laws that rule the world you made, and yet they govern nothing, and need not be broken, merely looked upon and gone beyond. 2. The first chaotic law, that the truth is different for everyone. The first chaotic law is that the truth is different for everyone. Like all these principles, this one maintains that each is separate and has a different set of thoughts that set him off from others. This principle evolves from the belief that there is a hierarchy of illusions, some of more valuable and therefore true. Each one establishes this for himself and makes it true by his attack on what another values. And this is justified because the values differ, and those who hold them seem to be unlike, and therefore enemies. 3. Think how this seems to interfere with the first principle of miracles. First principle of miracles was that there's no order of difficulty in miracles. Well, so think how this first chaotic law, that the truth is different for everyone, seems to interfere with the first principle of miracles. For this establishes degrees of truth among illusions, making it seem that some of them are harder to overcome than others. If it were realized that they are all the same and equally untrue, it would be easy, then, to understand that miracles apply to all of them. Errors of any kind can be corrected because they are untrue. When brought to truth instead of to each other, they merely disappear. No part of nothing can be more resistant to the truth than can another. Paragraph 4. The second law of chaos, dear indeed to every worshiper of sin, is that each one must sin, and therefore deserves attack and death. Have you been a worshiper of sin, believing that we've all sinned? This principle, closely related to the first, is the demand that errors call for punishment and not correction. For the destruction of the one who makes the error places him beyond correction and beyond forgiveness. What he has done is thus interpreted as an irrevocable sentence upon himself, which God himself is powerless to overcome. Again on that sentence, or two sentences. For the destruction of the one makes the error, for the destruction of the one who makes the error places him beyond correction and beyond forgiveness. What he has done is thus interrupted as an irrevocable sentence upon himself. Not interrupted, interpreted. What he has done is thus interpreted as an irrevocable sentence upon himself, which God himself is powerless to overcome. Sin cannot be remitted, being the belief the Son of God can make mistakes, for which his own destruction becomes inevitable. 5. Think what this seems to do to the relationship between the Father and the Son. Now it appears that they can never be one again, for one must always be condemned, and by the other. Now are they different and enemies, and their relationship is one of opposition, just as the separate aspects of the Son meet only to conflict, but not to join. One becomes weak, the other strong by his defeat, and fear of God and of each other now appears as sensible, made real by what the Son of God has done both to himself and his Creator. Paragraph 6. The arrogance on which the laws of chaos stand could not be more apparent than emerges here. Here is a principle that would define what the Creator of reality must be, what he must think, and what he must believe, and how he must respond, believing it. It is not seen as even necessary that he be asked about the truth of what has been established for his belief. His Son can tell him this, and he has but the choice whether to take his word for it or be mistaken. Oh, the arrogance of the ego, thinking it knows what God needs to think. Doesn't even ask God if that's the way it ought to be thinking. This, of course, it wouldn't want to ask that because it wouldn't want to be shown that it's looking at a chaotic law. This leads directly to the third preposterous belief that seems to make chaos eternal. For if God cannot be mistaken, he must accept his Son's belief in what he is and hate him for it. 7. See how the fear of God is reinforced by this third principle? Now it becomes impossible to turn to him for help in misery, for now he has become the enemy who caused it, to whom appeal is useless. Again on that sentence. So now the fear of God is reinforced by this third principle. Now it becomes impossible to turn to him for help in misery, for now he has become the, in quotes, enemy who caused it, to whom appeal is useless. Now can salvation lie within the Son, whose every aspect seems to be at war with him, with God, and justified in its attack. And now is conflict made inevitable, beyond the help of God. For now salvation must remain impossible, because the Savior has become the enemy. Instead of seeing your brother as your Savior, you're seeing him as someone who's sinned. Paragraph 8. There can be no release and no escape. Atonement thus becomes a myth, and vengeance, not forgiveness, is the will of God. From where all this begins, there is no sight of help that can succeed. Only destruction can be Only destruction can be the outcome, and God himself seems to be siding with it to overcome his Son. Think not the ego will enable you to find escape from what it wants. That is the function of this course. What does not value what the ego cherishes? Think not the ego will enable you to find escape from what it wants. That is the function of this course, which does not value what the ego cherishes. Is that a little bit more understandable? Okay, so the course is helping us to free ourselves from these laws of chaos. But we have to understand them first. Paragraph 9. The ego values only what it takes. This leads to the fourth law of chaos, which, if the others are accepted, must be true. This seeming law is the belief you have what you have taken. You have what you have taken. that we're separate from each other. I take something from you and I get to keep it and you don't have it. We don't realize that when we give or take something from anyone, we give or take from ourselves. We're all in this together. It's just one of us. By this, another's loss becomes your gain, and thus it fails to recognize that you can never take away save from yourself. Yet all the other laws must lead to this, for enemies do not give willingly to one another, nor would they seek to share the things they value. And what your enemies would keep from you must be worth having, because they keep it hidden from your sight. Paragraph 10. All the mechanisms of madness are seen emerging here. The, in quotes, enemy made strong by keeping hidden the valuable inheritance that should be yours, your justified position, an attack for what has been withheld, and the inevitable loss the enemy must suffer to save yourself. Thus do the guilty ones protest their innocence. Were they not, and of course the word innocence is in quotes in that because it's not truly innocent, but from your righteous indignation's point of view, it seems innocence. Thus do the guilty ones protest their innocence. Were they not forced into this foul attack by the unscrupulous behavior of the enemy, they would respond with only kindness. But in a savage world, the kind cannot survive, so they must take or else be taken from. Oh my. Paragraph 11. And now there is a vague, unanswered question not yet explained. What is this precious thing, this priceless pearl, this hidden secret treasure to be wrested in righteous wrath from this most treacherous and cunning enemy? It must be what you want, but never found. And now you understand the reason why you found it not. For it was taken from you by this enemy, and hidden where you would not think to look. He hid it in his body, making it the cover for his guilt, the hiding place for what belongs to you. Now must his body be destroyed and sacrificed, that you may have that which belongs to you. His treachery demands his death, that you may live. And you attack only in self-defense. Oh, that's the way the ego wants you to think. Paragraph 12. But what is it you want that needs his death? Can you be sure your murderous attack is justified unless you know what it is for? And here a final principle of chaos comes to the rescue. It holds there is a substitute for love. This is the magic that will cure all of your pain, the missing factor in your madness that makes it, in quotes, sane. This is the reason why you must attack. Here is what makes your vengeance justified. Behold, unveiled the ego's secret gift, torn from your brother's body, hidden there in malice and in hatred for the one to whom the gift belongs. He would deprive you of the secret ingredient that would give meaning to your life. The substitute for love, born of your enmity to your brother, must be salvation. It has no substitute, and there is only one. And all your relationships have but the purpose of seizing it and making it your own. So that last principle of chaos is it holds there is a substitute for love, which is attack, to make yourself safe. And the last paragraph we'll read today, which is about halfway through this section. Never is your possession made complete, and never will your brother cease his attack on you for what you stole. Nor will God end his vengeance upon both, for in his madness he must have this substitute for love and kill you both. You who believe you walk in sanity with feet on solid ground, and through a world where meaning can be found, consider this. These are the laws on which your, in quotes, sanity appears to rest. These are the principles which makes the ground beneath your feet seem solid, and it is here you look for meaning. These are the laws you made for your salvation. They hold in place the substitute for heaven which you prefer. This is their purpose. They were made for this. There is no point in asking what they mean. That is apparent. The means of madness must be insane. The means of madness must be insane. Are you as certain that you realize the goal is madness? And we're starting to wake up from that realization. Okay, so real quick, the first chaotic law is that truth is different for everyone. The second law of chaos, dear indeed to every worshiper of sin, is that each one must sin and therefore deserves attack and death. This leads directly to the third preposterous belief that seems to make chaos eternal. For if God cannot be mistaken, he must accept his son's belief in what he is and hate him for it. The fourth law of chaos, which if the others are accepted must be true, this seeming law is the belief you have what you have taken. And the final principle of chaos comes to the rescue. It holds there is a substitute for love. Okay, well, let's go ahead and close with our song. And thank you for joining me. It's really nice having you out here in my comfrey patch. Let me pull you a little bit comfrey out here so you can kind of see what it looks like a little better. Let me just set it right here. If it'll stay here while I'm singing, you can kind of look what the comfrey looks like. Kind of a coarse leaf. I'm not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I have a function God would have me fill. I have a function God would have me fill. I seek the function that would set me free. I seek the function that would set me free from all the vain illusions of the world. Only the function God has given me can offer freedom. Only this I seek, and only this will I accept as mine. I have a function God would have me fill. I have a function God would have me fill. I seek the function that would set me free from all the vain illusions of the world. Only the function God has given me can offer freedom. Only the function of forgiveness God has given me can offer freedom. Only the function God has given me can offer freedom. Only this I seek, and only this will I accept as mine. I have a function God would have me fill. I have a function God would have me fill. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I have a function God would have me fill. Okay, and our word for peace is Nirudho, which is a Pali word, which Pali spoken in Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, and Cambodia. So, Nirudho, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I have a function God would have me fill. Nirudho.